right, let's jump into this. Just want to give a shout out, say happy birthday to my lovely Aquariuses. This will be your weekly love reading from February 5th to the 12th. And this will be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Remember, this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everybody. If it doesn't, that's okay. Check back again, or check some of the other awesome readers that we have here on YouTube who are so kind to donate their time to do such wonderful work in helping bring about just the love and light that the world so desperately needs right now. So, as I was kind of meditating on y'all's energy, Aquarius, I kind of feel like you guys are kind of finally coming to calm waters as far as love goes. Or maybe it would be like acceptance, maybe is a better word to use. Okay, well, there's the first card we have out. Yeah, and I'm getting the sense that for a lot of you, we have the Magician come out. That was the first card. And so I think this plays a big part of it, is that you guys are noticing your self-worth, your self-love, and that's what this whole blood moon eclipse, high energy shift truly has been about, is about purging what no longer serves us and shifting us into gear for the things that are for our better good. But you, Aquarius, are not feeling it as hard as some of the other signs, because you're in a place where you have, it says inner skills down there. Sorry about the reflection. But it's like you have all the ingredients you need, per se, to bake the perfect batch of cookies when it comes to love. No more games, no more crap, you know, and that was followed by the Ten of Swords. Finality. Like I'm saying, like, you're done. You're done. Like, what you say is what is, and that's final. No is no, yes is yes. There is no more doing things to make somebody else feel better, or there is no more codependency, or you know, you're really grasping. You're coming out of a state of imprisonment mentality that you kind of were in, where you felt like you had to make everybody happy, which is impossible to do. But you know, and it doesn't, most of you, I feel like 80% I'm hearing of you, Aquarius, is really with this shift and these planetary positions and the blood moon, really took advantage of that in cutting the people out of your life that no longer served you. But that doesn't necessarily feel good. Like, you're still gonna grieve that. you know? And that's why it's like she's still kind of holding on to those skulls, but then the butterflies are kind of landing on there. Like, I almost feel like as a reminder to her, like, you know, because it's almost like a sense like you cut them out, you let them go, but it's like you're still kind of clinging on to that little bit of essence of them, I guess you could say, for lack of better words. So these butterflies are coming down and landing on you to remind you, you know. And sometimes, you know, what I'm hearing Spirit say is, not to be cliche, but that quote that says, just when the caterpillar thought its life was over, it became a butterfly, you know. These people had to find out stuff on their own, and it was such in your heart and in your nature to want to take their demons for them, to want to caretake, to do all this stuff. But you had to let them go through their own awakening, their own ego death, etc. And that's hard, and it's sad, and it's lonely. It's a lonely place when you have an awakening, and I think that this card also, this Eight of Swords, this imprisonment, also has to do with this too for some of you, is that being final, like you having your awakening, knowing, okay, I have all the ingredients at my hands that I need to manifest here going forward what I want with my life, what is going to serve me best. I have it all. But everyone around me is so different. Why is everyone so different? Why are these people just like the Walking Dead? Am I the only one who's alive here? In a sense, that can feel like a prison in itself. If you're free and you're going out in the world and everyone's just like, literally, I mean, and I get this feeling too. It's like, I feel like I'm in The Walking Dead. Because everybody's having awakenings at different times. We're not all having them at the same time. And this is really affecting love. But that's because love is at the core of it. And I've briefly mentioned, I think I'm going to start, well, I don't think, I am going to start probably a separate playlist that goes more into depth with those things, because some people just aren't at that level yet, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying like I'm smarter or better. I'm just saying some people don't want to hear stuff that deep. But yeah, so this Eight of Swords, I really feel like honestly resembles 3 different things, and this could be just 3 different types or 3 different groups of Aquariuses that I'm speaking to. You know, one, a group of Aquariuses that maybe were in a codependent relationship, and it got to the point where you just felt like it was a prison and there was just no way out, but you were too afraid to leave them on their own, so you stayed. Others of you, I feel like you broke free, but then you came out into this world and you did what Spirit guided you to do and cut these people from you. But that is a lonely, 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 lonely part of the journey. And so I feel like that could be a second part for you guys. Oh gosh, and I heard them tell me one more thing. A third thing that just made you guys feel I'm sure it'll come back to me as we go further into the reading. So okay, let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want to take one more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 4 of each. That's what I'm feeling. So yeah, so you know, but you're gaining a lot of self-love, Aquarius. And that's important. And I know some of you might get mad at me, but just remember, this is just the beginning of the reading, okay? I know everybody wants to know about their soulmates and their twin flames and their life partners. None of us like this period right now. And a lot of us are in it because, yes, there's certain things that apply to certain signs, but then there are things that apply to us collectively, and then there's things that just apply to us generally in these readings. But there's still a part of the spiritual transformations, awakenings, ascensions that are happening. And everybody's not going to have them all at once. However, I do feel like most Aquariuses are going to have their awakenings, if you already haven't, sooner versus later. What I sense from Spirit is it's going to be the strong earth signs that are going to have a hard time with this the most. Because, you know, water, air, fire, those are all elements that can kind of, not that earth can't be manipulated. Well, I don't know if manipulated is the word I want to use. But all those other signs are like able to be fluid, I guess you want to say, and ever changing, where earth is kind of stubborn and grounded, but we also need that as well. And that's why you have that, you know. That's why we have them all. And then we have Spirit. So this is a really, really good sign though, because even if what you're going through is, even if what you're going through is lonely, you're definitely learning self-love, okay? And I can almost guarantee you, promise you, that you will not find, I mean, you can find fantasy love anywhere. I mean, you can get men, women, anyone you want to tell you what you want to hear, but I can promise you, you will not find true, unconditional, sent from the divine for you love until they know that you have learned the lesson in self-love. And that's why I'm telling you that this is a good sign, Aquarius, because I see you, especially starting off with the Magician energy. It's like you're ready to go. Like you have all the tools you need, and you're standing firm regardless of regardless of how you may be mind fucking yourself a little bit with this imprisonment feeling, you still know better. You still know in your spirit that you're making the right choices and cutting these people out. You're doing a very good job with boundaries and keeping things final. And that, oh, and I didn't even get to this, and then the Ten of Pentacles, legacy. So, you know, and I really feel, you know, when I look at this card, that you see how there's the one in the middle. Okay, this is what I'm picking up. And it's like, that's your energy. And then all these other characters are like roles you've had to play, people you've had to be for other people. Remember how I was saying how, you know, trying to make everyone happy? So now you're finally, you know, and yes, she doesn't look particularly thrilled about it. We're not thrilled about this stage that we're in right now, but we know that it needs to happen because Spirit, I mean, and if you haven't been feeling it from Spirit, then I highly suggest you get into meditation and listen, because I never will say I'm 100% sure, because I am not the divine, I am not the gods, but I'm about 80% sure that everybody is going through this shift in a difficult way, one way or the other. But the end result is always love. That's why I say, many songs, one truth. So, you know, it's no longer having to play all these different parts. You finally know who you are and are comfortable in your own skin and love yourself. And when you love yourself, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like the Ace of Cups shows up when we get into the tarot, because with your energy, I feel like you're getting to the point of self-love where it's just overflowing. So you have enough to give. So you have love coming into your life. Let's see. Let me grab. We'll do. Yeah, let me do two of these. And so Aquarius for the week of the 5th to the 12th, and love. And when I do my love readings, I always remind people that love comes in many forms, okay? So whatever your, whatever this, what spirit, your guides, the divine, the collective, whatever messages they want to give, they're going to give you. And love isn't always intimate. Love could be family, children, job, passions, hobbies. Love is love is love, you know, and it's all kinds of love. And self-love is the most important. And I think that's the main focus here. And I feel like you guys are doing great with that, because that's the whole purpose of this shift. The whole purpose of this shift is to take our power back, establish a new paradigm, move from duality to raising the vibrations more in alignment with who we are. And we have to learn that from the inside out, not the outside in. And that's why I don't like to put titles on things, because that puts limitations. But we can also only perceive that in which we can understand. So that's why I was saying, you know, as far as the shift we went through, it hit me very hard. And I had to sit with myself, my guides, and the divine, do some heavy meditation and journeys and figure out, how do I give the world this message, and, you know, but keep the important simple stuff as well, I guess you could say. This is getting my attention for some reason. So I just wanted to pull, before we get into the tarot, and I got a gist of the energy. I still wanted to pull, and with these ones I do read from the book, because the messages are so powerful that, I mean, they put it, and Spirit puts it a lot better than I can, and plus I'm still learning these, and they're just amazing. And I think that, you know, it's kind of like songs, how like we can all hear music, a song in lyrics, and get a totally different perception from it depending on what we're going through in our life. So for you, Aquarius, the Andean cross is coming up, okay? And I'm just going to read to you what it says. So the essence. The Andean cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is the gateway to the interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom, to break free of linear time. The Andean cross announces the start to a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to which until now has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow a new vision to guide you, and stop trying to make sense of all of it before you respond with a resounding yes. Time has passed, the time has passed, and the window of opportunity has closed. Now it is not the moment to take that leap you have been over-preparing for. It is best to wait until conditions in heaven line up again to offer you a more propitious moment. Any bold action you take now will require tremendous effort on your part. Just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favorable times. Yeah, that's interesting, because I really was picking up for you guys, Aquarius, about how great of a job you did with the purging part. But now that you've purged and you've got rid of, you know, some toxic situations or people, now you're feeling this emptiness, this loneliness, this difference. That's why I refer to it as the Walking Dead. Because you just feel different, especially those of you who have awakened. And you know that in making that decision, it had to be final. But remember, like I said, those butterflies were there to remind you, yeah, this is final for the things that don't serve you anymore. But there's things here that serve you. and are coming to serve you without a doubt. So please keep the faith, you know. And I mean, this one about the imprisonment, if you see how she's looking up and just that silver lining, that little bit of light shining on her. And this is really an important part of your life right now. And there will be love in it. I mean, as we get further into it, I do feel love for you guys. But I feel, I definitely felt that you also have to be really careful that you don't let that loneliness make you regress, if you know what I'm saying. And that's interesting that this card came up, because that is exactly what I was feeling, is that you know, everybody's always talking about how it says any bold action you take now will require tremendous effort on your part. Just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favorable times. And that's what I think it's talking about in reference to love with you guys. So just like how people are always saying, listen to your heart, take a risk and just jump, go for it. No, it's like this is saying the opposite, but it's saying it with the same equality. Just as much as you take a risk in doing that, take a risk in sitting in that stillness. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's lonely. Yes, it hurts. But we're still shedding, and we're still getting toxicities out of us, and we're still purging stuff. I mean, it didn't happen overnight, so it's not gonna be better overnight, y'all. So, I mean, and when these cards give a message, this shaman oracle, these are very powerful. These are very serious. And so I was just gonna pull 2 for you guys, okay? And then we have 55. We have Taming the Wind. Okay, and I kind of have a feeling what this is gonna say, but let's just see. I have a feeling that it's gonna talk about what I was just saying, and making sure that that stillness, that being one and learning to love yourself in your own skin, so that you can then have an overflowing cup. Not just an overflowing cup, but overflowing onto the saucer of the cup. So we have Taming the Wind. Here, the feather, a symbol that is used in clearing ceremonies for smudging, reminds you of the sacred commitment you make to your life. This is the symbol of consciously bringing the spiritual into the material, infusing the world with reverence and acknowledgement of the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit to co-create for the highest good for all. It is time to clear your energy, be present, and become conscious of how you communicate. This is a good time to write in a journal and put your thoughts into cohesive form. Perhaps you need to actually do a smudging ceremony in your home. or office, creating a sacred space to write about your dreams and desires. Just remember that when Taming the Wind appears as a symbol, it is a time to honor Great Spirit with reverence and respect, Aquarius. It is time to clean up any misunderstandings with others, clear the air after disagreements, and allow others to share their sides of things. You are called now to be a good listener. It is not time to be right. It is a time for you to understand rather than be understood. You will be surprised at how things get resolved when you allow for all sides to have value. Again, this is what I mean when I say, when I do my love readings, okay? My love readings involve all types of love. I don't confine my love readings into a little romantic box with a diamond ring. Yes, that's beautiful and that's great, but in order to get to that place, it's like we have to really get deep down into the root and the core of things and truly know ourselves and be comfortable sitting in the stillness with ourselves before we could ever even, you wouldn't even want to do that to somebody that you want to love to that degree. Do you want to give somebody you love a gift of toxins and negativity and low vibrations? No, you want to give somebody that you love the world. You want to give them everything that's beautiful and pure and gonna make them feel their worth and their beauty or handsomeness in your eyes. Okay? Well, you are that gift to them. So you need to make yourself that beauty. And I'm talking from the inside as much as I would be the owl. And so, and clearing up any misunderstandings and disagreements and letting other people finally tell their sides of things, whether they're right or wrong, who cares? Just let them do it, because that's a form of love. And that's also a form of loving yourself. Being able to be disciplined enough, being able to let your ego die enough to be like, you know what, right now, it's not important about me being right. It's about this person that I care about feeling worth it, that they're worth something to me, that I'm able to admit my wrongs that I did to them and apologize so that we can move forward and have a healthy, loving, unconditional loving relationship, which then makes your self-love grow. Okay? I hope that's not too, I hope that makes sense and that's not too abstract for y'all. So, I'm going to put these over here. So I was going to do those two, and then I'm going to do two of these, and we'll hop into the tarot. Okay, Aquarius, seeing the true you. Okay? Seeing the true you. Really, really, really falling in love with you. Like I said, there's many parts to this shift, but as many parts as there is to it, it's actually quite simple because, and it's been affecting people hard, but that's because we've lived so long with a perception of what love is supposed to be. And that's all that it can be. That's all that it is. And it's a one-size-fits-all. I mean, I couldn't believe how long it took for them to make a Disney movie like Frozen, where the princess actually found her self-love without ever needing to fall in love with the prince. Look how long it took Disney to do that. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love, Disney fairy tales. I mean, what girl doesn't when she's little? I'm sure there's some, but you grow up and you get into the real world and it's not a fucking fairy tale. And that's what I thought was really badass about Frozen, was I was like, wow, that was really cool that they made such a powerful movie and was able to show little girls, and that they loved that movie so much that it wasn't about finding Prince Charming. It was about finding themselves and their family love and their roots. Like, humanity has to get back to the organic ways of things, and seeing the true you. I mean, authenticity. That's a huge thing that Spirit has been trying to show humanity as well, as authenticity. And so I think that's coming up for you guys now that you've done the work in setting your boundaries, getting yourself out of your imprisonment, no longer playing these parts for people. You're sitting in your truth. Like, you're done. It's final. You have conquered that mission. And now, with the energy of the magician, you have everything you need. But you can have all the tools in the world. If you choose not to see yourself, they're worthless. So see yourself, Aquarius. Love yourself. And then know, I got the power. Know that you're the fucking I almost said musician. Maybe some of you are getting into music. That's an awesome, awesome way to express this journey. And I think that's why, that card came up about writing things down. Because this shift, and I'll admit it, I haven't been on doing videos, and I apologize. I love y'all like crazy. I love my channel. It's my baby. I had higher expectations for it at this point, but when that shift came, and the blood moon, and the just all that stuff hit at once, it wouldn't have been fair to you guys or me to even try to attempt to bring you messages until I felt my guides tell me that it was okay to go ahead and start. Now, they've given me a lot of heavy information and heavy downloads, and I'm still, and a huge task to complete, and it and I'm blessed because it involves this channel, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. But it's gonna be at the right time, at the right moment. I'm putting a lot of work into it, and I want to make sure that it's like when the presentation comes out, you know, kind of like on Netflix when you get all the seasons at once. I want to at least do one playlist that has everybody's stuff at once so they can binge watch, and then from there, you know. Anyways, and so the next card we have new birth and guarded vigilantly. Absolutely, Aquarius. You guys have totally, I mean, with that 10 of Swords, that finality, that coming out of imprisonment, you guys have totally had an awakening, which is also a rebirth. And you need to guard that. Look, there's that, but this is a whole different deck, and there's that butterfly again. So Aquarius says, pay attention. If you're seeing butterflies, that might be a synchronicity that the divine is using to get your attention. And because, yeah, like I said, it's a whole different deck. So anyways, let's hop into the tarot. Well, I mean, we started with the tarot a little bit, but oh, okay, that's a lot. I don't think I need to take that many. So I'm gonna do it like, I'm feeling what Spirit's saying to do is I'm gonna do y'all's situation and energy going down this way, and then your person of interest, your partner, or who could be walking into your life going down this way, and those energies, okay? Yeah. I am going to pull Romance Angel cards. I'm trying to figure out if I should do that before. Yeah. Romance Angels or the Tarot. Oh, there's, okay. Okay, yeah. They're telling me to do it, so let's do it. So, because this will get our energy going for like what I know you guys really want, and I understand it's human. We want that instant gratification, we want that love, and we want it now. No, we want it yesterday, right, Aquarius? We want that love yesterday. Uh-oh, and my battery's running low. And will this reach over here? Let me check something, y'all, because the computer, this thing it was plugged into died. I don't know how much time I have left on there. This is the printer. I'm gonna take that out. Okay, yeah, that worked. Cool.